registration. After the last general election, INEC announced that it would delist states that did not meet the thresholds. Now, here's today's big hard fact. Section 225 of the Constitution gives INEC the power to deregister political parties under specific conditions. And those conditions are mostly about electoral performance. So if a party wants to avoid deregistration, they have to get 25% of the votes in one state during a presidential election, or 25% in one local government area during a guber election. Failing that, they're still safe if they can win one ward in a chairmanship election or one seat in a councillorship, state assembly, or national assembly election. So after the 2019 elections, INEC deregistered dozens of parties. Many of them have gone to court to stop INEC, and the Supreme Court just ruled that 74 of them will stay deregistered. But that judgment doesn't affect some others, including the Youth Party, who got a judgment at the appeal court stopping INEC. And joining us to talk about this today on the show is the chairman of Youth Party, Tomiwa Aladekomo. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you, Sandra.
All right, so you're going to need to speak into the mic so that we can hear you.
All right.
Yes, and Lagos, of course, you're welcome to join this conversation. We want to hear from you as well. So first of all, Tomiwa, congratulations are in order, yes?
Thank you, yes.
Can you tell us what exactly the appeal court said?
The Court of Appeal ruled that they supported a motion by the Federal High Court, which had ruled in October that INEC's deregistration of us was illegal. And it was null and it was void. And the Federal High Court had made that initial ruling on the basis that INEC had essentially illegally deregistered us while there was already a motion in court challenging their ability to do so. And basically the Court of Appeal has supported our position. If you actually look at the ruling, it says that INEC's actions were reprehensible, that they were resorting to self-help, and that essentially the matters in front of the court were still pending, and so INEC should not be making any actions on those until those are decided. And fundamentally, we challenged INEC and their we challenged INEC on its deregistration of us on the basis that they're not giving us the fair chance to run as a party. So INEC registered the Youth Party in August of 2018, 2 days before the primaries for the 2019 elections began. 2 days. Despite this, we still competed in 11 different positions for House of States and House of Assembly, House of Reps and House of Assembly across the country in 3 different states. We didn't win any of those races, but we had 2 days to prepare before the primaries started.
Right.
And then in January of 2020 or February of 2020, INEC comes along and says they're deregistering us for not meeting the thresholds. We've had less than 2 years as a party to contest. We've been given no time. And this is despite the fact that we had started attempting to register in 2016 and had to take INEC to court to even get them to register us in the name that we requested. Now, we won judgment against INEC the first time in 2017, but they waited until 2 days before the primaries before they registered us. And so the question is, how is that fair? How is that due process? So nobody, actually, it's interesting. I listened to the question that you started this segment with, which is, should INEC have the right to deregister party? And we've actually not challenged them on that. We've not gone to court to challenge their rights to deregister parties. But we've said, if you're going to deregister parties, you must give them a fair chance to contest. The Federal Court of Appeal agreed, the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal agreed with us and said, give these guys 4 years to compete, allow them to compete through the 2023 elections. And INEC has yet to comply with that judgment till today, despite the fact that 2 different courts.
Now, INEC responded to that judgment, right? They say that they're going to test it at the Supreme Court. They also say that they are confident that they're going to win, since the Supreme Court just ruled that INEC maintains the right to deregister parties that don't win seats. What do you say to that?
So I say, one, the rule of law is important. So 2 courts have ruled on a thing. Nobody's denying INEC's rights to appeal. But 2 courts have ruled that the deregistration that they've attempted is illegal.
Right.
And there's no stay on that action, which means that while they are testing it in court, you can take anything you want to court, but they should comply with the orders of 2 separate courts.
In the meantime.
In the meantime. And so INEC is essentially, and this is the same thing that the Court of Appeal called them out for. They've resorted to self-help. They've decided that they will decide the rules despite what the courts have said. And until the Supreme Court forces their hand, they will ignore the orders of the court. But 2 different courts have said to INEC, allow these people to compete through 2023, and INEC has denied and refused to obey those orders. So that makes the question, is INEC a law unto itself?
So what's INEC refusing to do right now? Tell me.
We're not listed for any of the elections. So the Lagos State local government elections are ongoing. INEC has not listed us as a party that can contest in those. And so LASIEC, which is the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission has in turn not listed us to compete in that. Now that's happened in multiple elections since the first ruling in October, where we've not been able to contest in elections despite the order of the court. If you go to the INEC website, we're not listed, and it's because INEC is defying the law. They're defying the courts.
Now, if INEC is doing that, what can you do? Is there anything that you can do to get them to change their mind? Is there a way you can get them to obey the courts?
I mean, I will say it's been an ongoing challenge in Nigeria over the last few years that you see the government, the federal government, ignoring the orders of the court. You see the executive, that is, ignoring the orders of the court. And INEC essentially has taken a leaf from that playbook and has said, we are law unto ourselves and we won't. And so the 2 things that we can do is, A, we will push this, and we're happy to go to the Supreme Court, and we're confident that we will win. The Court of Appeal judgment, you should note, came out after the Supreme Court judgment
right.
on the other cases.
Right.
There's still the other case with 22 parties. So there are multiple cases against INEC that are still making their way through the court.
Right.
And I should note this. We've taken INEC to court 3 times. We've won 3 times.
Oh, you have?
Yes. So we have 3 judgments against, 3 positive judgments against INEC. So they're not really above the law. It's possible that, it's in their power to essentially keep us. But I will also note this about the Lagos State elections. If we're not allowed to compete despite a court order, the elections are void. And INEC loses this all the time. INEC does this all the time, which is they don't allow people to contest. They're taken to court, and then they have to overturn the elections. It happens over and over and over again. And you would think they would learn, but they insist on going this path. So we will take them to court.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that if by the time the local government elections happen, you're not listed as a party that can compete in the local government elections, you're declaring the elections void?
We're not going to declare it. We're going to take them to court, and the courts will most likely declare them void. And it's happened in multiple elections. So this isn't new. And you would think INEC would learn this and would not have elections run where they know that the candidates who should have a right to run, or the parties who should have a right to run, should not proceed that way. They'd clear these roadblocks ahead of time. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to let the elections run. We're going to take them to court. And again, at the expense of the Nigerian people, all of this will then get contested in court, and the elections will almost certainly have to be rerun. And that's happened at state level. You've seen that with multiple governors across the country. You've seen it in local government elections. So it's not like this is the first time it's ever happened.
Right.
We've written to LASIEC, we've written to INEC, and we've been very clear on this position that if we are not allowed to contest, fundamentally we would believe that the elections are void. We'll take it to court, and there's good precedence for us to win.
Did you get a response from LASIEC?
They've not given us a formal response. We've paid for forms for these elections, and they've refused to give us the forms. We've written to them, we've written to INEC, we've written post the Court of Appeal judgment, with both judgments attached, both the Federal High Court judgment and the Court of Appeal judgment. But they persist.
Whose job is it to enforce court judgments?
At the courts.
Lagos, I want to talk to you. This is very interesting, right? If you're a woman, call us on 01465 Women 01465 Men, call us on 0700 We have Tomiwa Alade Komo on the show with us today. He's the chairman of the Youth Party. His party are one of those who have not been deregistered, and he's here today telling us all the things that they've been going through at the hands of INEC. Now, the big question the big conversation we're having today is if INEC should have the right to deregister parties. And I told you that Section 225 of the Constitution gives INEC that power, actually, to deregister political parties under specific conditions. I also went through the trouble of sharing with you what those conditions were. So you have parties who have to get 25% of the votes in one state during a presidential election, or 25% in one local government during a guber election. Failing that, they're still safe if they can win one ward in a chairmanship election or one seat in a councillorship, state assembly or national assembly election. So that's what's supposed to happen. Now, we have Tomiwa here who says we haven't even been given a fair chance to compete. We were finally registered in August 2018, and that was before national primaries began. But what has national primaries got to do with your own party primaries? Some people will listen right now and they will say, well, you should have been making your own plans and, while waiting for INEC to register you.
So as a party, you're making your own plans. And like I said, we competed for 11 different positions,
right,
despite the little time we were given to prepare.
Right.
But if you're a politician who's seriously considering running, 2 days to the primaries, the party that you want to run with is not yet registered. It's quite clear that if you're serious about running in that election, you start to make alternative plans.
Right.
And this is one of the things, and I think this is an argument that other parties are making as well,
right,
which is people should be given the chance to contest fairly. They should be given the space to contest fairly. Over the last year, since February 2020, we've been battling INEC. So that's time you've not spent building your party. That's time you've not spent preparing at the polls. You're spending that time in court. And at the same time, we've continued to build our party infrastructure. We've continued to build the party. We have a presence in 22 states. We have our headquarters in Abuja. We've built a functioning National Executive Council and National Working Committee. So as a party, we're doing the work, and we're on ground. We're actually in the middle of a national registration and mobilization drive for the party at the moment. But it is quite difficult when you get asked the question, so when I go to the INEC website, why are you not listed? When politicians who want to contest, and I mean, we have, for Lagos, we have people who have been building presence on ground, who have been building strength on ground. But now it's time to contest for the elections, and the party that they're a member of isn't listed on the ballot. So it's quite difficult for them.
But to be clear, you are a registered party.
We're registered, according to the courts, we're a legally registered political party.
But according to INEC, you're not registered. The courts have said you're registered, but INEC refuses to list you as a registered party.
Correct.
We've got Charles in Lekki on the line. Let's talk to Charles first. How are you, Charles? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Well, to some extent, I think INEC really need to reduce the number of political parties.
Okay.
Some will say it's infringe of freedom of association, but where we have like 60, 70 parties in Nigeria, and unfortunately, we are not able to even identify when you go to polling station, some of them you have never heard of before. So I think there's supposed to be some level of control. But that said, I think your guest is a lawyer. The question I have to him is, what are the lawyers doing, NBA and all of them, to this executive arrogance in terms of them not obeying court judgment? What is NBA doing? What are the lawyers doing? That is the question they should ask themselves. Is there any way they've gone out to actually maybe protest this as a body? Because it's just arrogance on behalf of the executive. All the court judgment, they will not obey. Whichever one suits them, they will obey. Whichever does not suit them, they don't obey. So what are the lawyers and the NBA? What are they doing to nip this in the bud? That's my question to him. Thank you.
Charles, thank you very much for calling. First of all, are you a lawyer?
I am not a lawyer. Unfortunately, I'm not a lawyer, so I actually cannot answer that question.
Yeah. But I mean, he does raise a question that a lot of people raise all the time. They complain that there are too many parties. They talk about stuff like the length of the ballot, for example. What do you say to people like him and that?
I'd say that the Electoral Commission is not really a pragmatic and technologically forward organization if it can't solve a small problem like this. In other countries in the world where there are many political parties, there are thresholds in order to participate in certain elections or to be listed on the ballot in certain elections. If you remember the American elections, I think Kanye West was going to run for president, and he had to meet a certain minimum threshold of people who had voted for him, or in the primaries receive a certain number of votes in order to be listed in the final presidential sort of ballot. So you do simple things like that, and it means that you can compete at local level if you want. You can compete at state level if you want.
But they've done that. Some would argue that they've done that already.
No, so what they're doing is deregistering the parties. So you can contest. You stay a registered party in the US. You can be a politician.
So they won't deregister you?
They don't deregister you. It's just that when the ballot is being printed, if you haven't met a certain threshold for this particular election or this particular contest, then you won't be listed for that
as
particular
a
candidate for that particular contest, which is a fairly simple,
which makes sense.
Simple solution. It's not really rocket science. And so there's a lot of pragmatic steps that come before you deny people the right to build strength. Now, let me just speak to that argument a little bit more. How many times did the current president run for president before he won? In 2011, he ran. In 2007, I believe he ran in 2003. All of these are opportunities for your party. How many seats did CPC win in each of those elections? But each of these times is times for your party to build strength, to build presence, and to learn and to get better and to attract more people. So give parties a chance to build, whether they want to be regional. And you may remember that CPC was regional, the ACN was regional. And so these parties all built their strengths regionally. We're not even trying to build regionally. We have national presence. We're in states in the north, we're in states in the north central, in the southeast and the southwest. We competed in Bauchi, we competed in Abia State, we competed in Lagos in the 2019 elections. And so what the right of freedom of association gives you is the right for you to contest, for the right for you to pull together people and participate in the progress. You may win, you may not win. But even if we're going to say, okay, after 4 years, you must win something, give us a full 4 years. Let's have 4 years unimpeded, without being in court, without fighting our regulator, to actually contest fairly and to build strength fairly. But again, the parties which have now established themselves and ensconced themselves in power are happy to cut off the opportunity that they had to build strength, election after election, loss after loss. They're now denying other people the right of association and the right to contest and to build strength in the same way.
Lagos, if you just joined us, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and this is the big hard fact. Now we're discussing whether INEC should have the right to deregister parties. I have the chairman of the Youth Party on the show with us. He, fortunately for his party, wasn't deregistered, but INEC has said that they will take the matter all the way to the Supreme Court, even though Tomiwa's, the Youth Party, has won in 2 courts already. Lagos, we want to hear from you. 0700-993-993-993. That's the number for our male callers. And 01465-7190. 01465-7190. I've got WhatsApp available now, so please send us a message via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75825. Did I mention that we were streaming live? We're streaming live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We've got Chudi in Lekki on the line. Hello, Chudi. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, you see, this is a country of jungle. Sorry to say I'm a Nigerian, but that's the truth. Why should INEC disobey the Supreme Court judgment. There is no reason for that. That is one. Two, just like you rightly pointed out, the dynamism of the world is that things keep changing. And what does that mean? That even if some parties are meeting the requirements, and there are too many political parties, like one of your callers pointed out, you can always raise the bar. Just like in those days, admission to university, they keep raising the bar every year, or every 3 years, or every 10 years, as the case may be. So you can always keep raising the bar. But to disregard a court judgment, it is not good for our country. The world is watching. That's what we don't know. The entire world is watching. They have won an election, from what is saying in one or two states, or as the case may be. And with that alone, you cannot remove them. And they can go from one local government or one ward to a local government. From a local government, they can go to 3 local governments in the state. From one state, they can move to 2 states and 3 states. Like you already pointed out. Who was the CPC? I mean, before the merger, where were they? So this party should be given a chance. And if they don't meet the criteria for them to continue to remain as a political party, yes, they can be deregistered. But the point is, INEC should obey the Supreme Court's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. We've got Remy in Akoka. Remy, welcome.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi. So is this the same youth party, or is your youth party different from Tomiwa's youth party?
Of course.
It's different, or it's the same?
Youth party.
Shape the future.
Yeah. That's
oh, God.
Good to hear my chairman.
How are you? Good afternoon. Good to have you on.
yeah. This is Remy.
Well done, Remy.
Yeah. I wasn't happy when Yomi told me Lasek choose not to sell tickets to our party. I was so disheartened. And we live in a country whereby institutions are law unto themselves, same as political office holders. We just heard what the AGF said today, the kind of analogy it gave.
Oh no, Remy, call back if you can. We'll take a final call, and then we have to take a 10-minute break, right? So 10 minutes, and then we're back to taking your calls.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm fine, Mrs. Okoyemi.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I like how you started. You mentioned Section 225.
That's right.
In Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
That Section 225 was not in 1999 Constitution. In 2018, National Assembly and Executive work on that, and they put it there. They changed the Constitution to the 3rd Amendment.
Right.
That is what they used to register the party. And one party took that section to court in Lagos here. You will not believe the judge supposed to write the judgment since last year November. Up to today, the judge did not write the judgment. They changed the judge to Kano. They put another judge there. Is that what they're supposed to be doing? And they quickly say that case, the relegation to court, to Supreme Court, so that all the parties that register can get the judgment. Why the court is closed? You see what is going on in Nigeria. All over the world where democracy is working. They don't register the party. If you don't win, it's left for you, but you build your party. You know that you put every party in the ballot. That section 22 was in Constitution. It's so for all political parties to give account what they spent on campaign for the election. The party in Nigeria that has been winning have never done that. You see what is going on?
I
And
do
we are
see
talking
what's
of
going on.
democracy.
All right, Mrs. Obeyemi, I wish we had more time to talk, but hey, you can call me back in 10 minutes when we come back from this break. That's how long this break is going to be, 10 minutes. And then we're back and we'll keep talking with Tomiwa, who's the chairman of the Youth Party, talking to us about what it's like to be a third party in Nigeria trying to win elections.
You've always wished you had a Samsung washing machine? Now you can get one in the Super Deals promo. From now to the 31st of May, you can get up to a 24% discount when you buy a Samsung Twin Tub washing machine and an 11% discount on drum washing machines. Get a washing machine and enjoy innovative technology that only Samsung can provide. Stay connected with Samsung.
8 times 500 naira, 4,000 naira. 8 times 5,000.
I beg. Where on they see this money?
Money care. Now the ogbonge bonus we they summer me as I buy new SIM card. See, then they give me double data subscription plus 8 times a woof anytime I recharge.
Oh boy, what's up for me now?
You know, say you fit buy SIM card now for any accredited Airtel shop, ba? Just go there with your NIN, just like that.
Sure guy.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Rama. You just they come. Me, I don't break my fast though. With the food, where they give us for here. In fact, now so kill we kill before we collect time.
So, all this stress on top say you want collect fruit for breaking fast. Don't worry yourself, because me don't get get fruit from Adron Homes. You remember I tell you about the Ramadan promo? You self benefit from Adron Ramadan promo package. With chicken money like 25,000 naira initial deposit, you go get food pack or shopping voucher and even spread the payment within 24 months. You know finish for there. For every land where you buy, you self go collect gifts. If you can't pay 1 million income, you go collect food pack, bag of rice, coat, and even shopping voucher. Take joy body. Hey, wait till you they wait for. Oh yeah, sharply go Adron Homes. Make you self benefit from the Ramadan promo. For more Tori, make you call us for 0816 548 2627 or 0803 488 3095.
Hello?
Eddie, my friend.
Yeah?
May is going to be amazing with DSTV. There are 155 matches from the Premier League,
What?
La Liga, Serie A, Champions League, and FA Cup.
Whoa.
That's 2 of the biggest cup finals and 3 of the best leagues in the world, reaching the pinnacle of the season.
Whoa, that is amazing.
It is amazing, Eddie. And the only place in the world where you can watch all of this amazing football in May is on DSTV.
Be amazed by the world's best football when you get connected to DSTV.
Do you know how the Contributory Pension Scheme CPS works? UNOS provides you with a pension plan funded by both you and your employer and helps you save money to take care of you as old age. Do you know that these contributions are paid directly into your retirement savings account, or RSA, which is managed by a pension fund administrator, PFA, chosen by you? Do you know that the National Pension Commission regulates and supervises all pension operators to ensure the safety of your funds? Do you know that you can only open one retirement savings account and it is yours for life, even if you decide to change jobs?
And do you also know that you can move your RSA from one PFA to another once in a year?
Well, now you know that the CPS ensures that you are covered with a pension plan that's designed to keep you financially secure in your old age. All employers in both the public and private sectors with 3 or more employees are mandated by the Pension Reform Act of 2014 to be part of the CPS. For more information, visit www.pencom.gov.ng.
Charles! Yes, mommy? Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me. Why 2? Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I don't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them, but they are there. And that is why I trust only Hypobleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypobleach.
I have to read for my exams, but I feel so sleepy. Hey, drink Amber.
Omo, this work, I tire gone. Alaye, you don't go drink Amber.
I'm not sure I can meet that deadline.
You can't, Joe. Drink Amber.
This traffic na die, oh. Guy, not to drink Amber.
That's right. With 1 can of Amber energy drink, you get your daily recommended dose of nutrients, vitamins, amino acids, citric acid, and a blend of guarana, a natural caffeine to give that huge rush of energy to get you through your day. And don't forget that refreshingly premium taste that is sure to blow your mind.
Last, wahala for uno dey drink Amber, oh.
Amber is proudly Niger and available in stores near you. Amber energy drink. Stimulate the energy in you.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan now, you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras, the others and the rest. Their wife, the men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 60,000, 100,000. Today I have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about your boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from you. Because I've seen the truth.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. Mm-hmm. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't have me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that.
Let's talk.
You've always wished you had a Samsung washing machine? Now you can get one in the Super Deals promo. From now to the 31st of May, you can get up to a 24% discount when you buy a Samsung Twin Top washing machine and an 11% discount on drum washing machines. Get a washing machine and enjoy innovative technology that only Samsung can provide. Stay connected with Samsung.
Football is back, and there are more ways to win on BetKing. With mega odds and the widest market selections ever, you can increase your winnings with an accumulated bonus of up to 225%. Don't have an account? Visit betking.com to sign up now and claim a welcome bonus up to 100,000 naira. Stay safe and keep kinging. BetKing, playground for kings.
Enjoy the fresh vibes of La Casera with new colorful, exciting look. But the Bangba apple taste no change. Oh, La Casera, I love this drink.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight up curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
My people, how far now? See, if any kind person say you want the coded password for your bank app, I be your PIN, I be your card PIN, I be the 3 number where they for the back of your card, your pay ID, be the answer for your security question. Abeg no give them all. All this information them suppose dey coded. You not supposed share am with anybody. Make you wise up. No make them scam you. This message now from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Make you download Kuda for Play Store or for App Store to open account. Make you start to dey enjoy our Wolf banking.
8 times 500 naira, 4,000 naira. 8 times 5,000. Hi!
Abeg, where una dey see this money?
Money care. Now the ogbonge bonus we dey sama me as I buy new SIM card. See then they give me double data subscription plus 8 times a woof anytime I recharge.
Oh boy, what's up for me now?
You know say you fit buy SIM card now for any accredited Airtel shop, ba? Just go there with your NIN, just like that.
Sure guy.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello?
Eddie, my friend.
Yeah?
May is going to be amazing with DSTV. There are 155 matches from the Premier League,
What?
La Liga, Serie A, Champions League, and FA Cup.
Whoa.
That's 2 of the biggest cup finals and 3 of the best leagues in the world, reaching the pinnacle of the season.
Whoa, that is amazing.
It is amazing, Eddie. And the only place in the world where you can watch all of this amazing football in May is on DSTV.
Be amazed by the world's best football when you get connected to DSTV.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back, Lagos, and the big question is, should INEC have the right to deregister parties? I told you that Section 225 of the Constitution gives INEC the power to deregister political parties. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. You're listening to Hard Facts. On the show with me today is a political party that has taken INEC to court more than once and won. They're the Youth Party. The chair, their national chair is here. Tomiwa, thank you so much for joining us and thank you for staying.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you heard what Ms. Okpeyemi said.
Yes.
Before we went on that break.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on some of the comments she made?
I mean, she's bang on. INEC essentially is in the process of restricting our democratic space more and more, denying people their right of association, and it's a systematic effort. So they already made an amendment to the Constitution, which they went to court to pass in 2018, which is where Section 225 was introduced, and that gave them the right to deregister political parties. Again, as Mrs. Okpeyemi said, in other parts of the world, parties don't get deregistered. You get the chance to try as many times as you want, and when you get tired, you will go home, or when you win, when you built enough strength to actually become a large political party. We've talked earlier on in the show about the fact that there don't need to be 75 parties on the ballot for any particular place. By insisting that every party contest in every election, INEC is themselves making it more administratively difficult for themselves. And even if they wanted every party to contest everywhere, there are ways to restrict the number of parties that appear on the ballot by creating sort of appearance thresholds that must be met to be on the ballot for each particular position for that election. But that doesn't require deregistering parties and denying people the right to contest, to freely contest and to freely associate in their own country. The Electoral Reform Act that INEC is attempting to pass at the moment is another attempt to further restrict the political space. It's going to raise the thresholds by which that parties have to meet so that they can continue to reduce the number of parties in the political space. And what you're going to end up having is a two-party political state that's dominated by the people who have already brought the country to the state of ruin that it is in today. So if these people were doing so well, if these parties were doing so well, we wouldn't have people agitating. We wouldn't have
creating new parties.
Yeah, creating new parties.
It kind of reminds me of something that happens in India, very similar to what you've just talked about. They have national parties, they've got state parties based on different criteria, right? And so each of those parties just stay registered, and then depending on the different criteria that you have to meet to be listed on the ballot, that's when you do get listed on the ballot.
Exactly.
Why do you think that we are going the way of deregistering instead of the way that other countries have done it?
I have to I have to be honest, it feels like a very systematic approach to reduce competition. If you think even just about the fact that INEC is disobeying court orders and has essentially appointed themselves their own law, it's a deliberate effort to reduce the space for other people to contest. It's a deliberate attempt to reduce the number of people who participate in the political process, and it's a deliberate attempt to restrict us to the same people who have brought us to the state this country is in right now.
Lagos, let's talk. 014657190. That's our number for our female callers. 014657190. For men, 0700-993-993-993. We've got Olubumi Kuku who says, good to see you, Tomiwa, after a long time. My contribution is that all these parties are too much. So when it's election time, they queue up, merge with other parties. So what's the essence of their existence in the first place? All right. Lubumi Kuku, thank you very much for your message. Sandra, it's a pity and it's obvious that the people in government are afraid of the youth and will do everything to stop the youth from coming into politics, knowing that the youth have numbers and will vote them out if they are given the opportunity. The court judgment should be upheld. The old people should give the youth a chance for once in this country. That's a message from Luta. Luta, thank you very much. Sandra, INEC should be given the power to deregister political parties that fail to meet the criteria. By the way, how did we get to 94 political parties? That's a message from Mr. God's Power, who is in Bagada. Mr. God's Power, thank you very much. Sandra, for me, the only interpretation to this is that they are afraid of the youth. Watch out, INEC will obey the court ruling only a few days to the election process when the youth party will have little or no time to make their presence felt by all and sundry. That's a message from BB. Now, is there some workaround? I know you mentioned earlier on that, if a politician were serious and she wants to win seats, she wants to win elections, she wouldn't want to be in a political party that isn't even listed as a political party, regardless of what the courts have said. So is there some other workaround to this particular problem that raises your profile, raises your perception, raises your presence in the minds of voters, while hoping that INEC registers you last minute?
It's critical to continue the work of building a party. And like I said, we're in the middle of a national registration and mobilization exercise. If there are people in the audience who want to join the party, please visit our website. It's youthpartyng.com. Sorry, Sandra, I'm promoting our details on
you pay for that.
But it's critical that people participate. We do a lot of work. So we're a serious political party. Winning seats is a very important part of the work. And winning electoral power is a very important part of the work that we do. But separate from that, we have a policy paper and we have ideas on everything that's happening in the country. We did a policy paper on police reform. We're working on one on jobs right now. There's very little that's happening in the country that we aren't seriously and actively working on ideas for how it should be done. And I think one of the key roles of a political party is to be effective opposition and to push fresh and better ideas about how the country should run. In opposition to the power of the party of the day. And so we take that role very seriously, and we're constantly doing a lot on that. Separately from that, we have politicians who are members of the party who are keen to contest and who are ready and willing to wait with us until we have the legal right to contest, not the legal right, until INEC recognizes our legal right to contest and puts us on ballot papers. So we continue to do the work. We continue to build strength on ground. We continue to work, and the politicians who run on the party are involved in grassroots efforts to train people, to feed people, to be useful to their communities. And so we take that role quite seriously, and we continue to work on that. Like I said, we have presence in 22 states, and so each chapter sort of works on their own initiatives to help around the states they are, to train people, to do youth empowerment programs. And so we take all of that work quite seriously, and we'll continue to do that whether or not we're allowed to contest. But our hope and our goal is to continue to build strength until the time when we win at the Supreme Court, or even before that, when INEC and LASIEC and every other sort of state electoral council recognizes that we do have the legal rights to contest and gives us the opportunity to contest.
Lagos, let's talk. 014657190 for women. For men, 0700-993-993-993. Hello, thank you very much for calling.
Good evening to you, President Sandra.
Good evening to you.
My name is Prince Wires, calling from Amuodofi.
Hello, Prince Wires. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think as it is now, even though we don't need more than 5 political parties in this country, as it is, we do have 2 dominant political parties with the APC, PDP. If the election is taking place today, these 2 parties will still dominate. So why having 20, 50, 100 political parties? Some of these parties, they are just husband and wife for a party. And it doesn't work well for the country. Okay, during the election, you have to print the ballot. A lot of names that the party we are talking about, they are not spread. They don't control what talking about the local government. I want to form a party, so you're supposed to be in a place in the local government, in the state, talking of. In fact, as it is now, I'm in support of INEC. The Supreme Court decision is binding and it's very okay. But if you seek my opinion, I'll still say they should reduce it down to 5 political parties. That's my stand, my dear.
Thank you for calling Prince YS. Tomiwa, what do you say to Prince YS?
Luckily for us, Prince YS does not control the Constitution. And luckily for us, the courts disagree with him. Prince YS, when you look at your life, when you look at the country, that these 2 dominant parties have built for you, is it a good life? Is it a country that you're proud of? Is it a country that is progressing? When you look at an electoral commission that cannot come up with a solution to reduce the number of parties on a ballot paper without deregistering them, without denying them their rights, would you say that that is a progressive organization? When you look at the country that you live in, would you say that the people who have been given the opportunity to lead you have done a good job? We disagree. We don't believe they have. We believe that they can be better. We believe there are better ways of doing things, better ways of running the country, better ways of building a country that works for us all. And that is why there must be more political parties. That is why there must be fresh ideas and fresh people coming into the process. Some of the people who have spoken earlier, Lota and the others who sent in their comments, have talked about the fact that the government of the day and INEC are worried about the youth. They're worried about fresh ideas. They're worried about people who see the world differently than they do, having the opportunity to lead. And so they're restricting you to the same tired old ideologies, the same tired old politicians, the same tired old ideas and approaches to running the world. And if you say you support INEC, it is saying that you support a Nigeria that is in this state. You support a Nigeria that is still run by people who are going on the politics and the economics of the 80s while the world forges forward. If that is Nigeria you want, we disagree with you.
Okay, let's talk to a few more people who are calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm Additional.
Welcome, Additional.
Greetings to your guests in the studio. I want to ask this question. Would there not be a way for the INEC to control the parties in a way that they will absorb youth instead of allowing or arguing for more parties? In a way, maybe having more youth to. There was a time I heard that they stopped the intake for new members in some parties. I don't want to mention any parties in here.
I mean, that's not up to INEC. It's up to the political parties themselves to open the door for the young people to enter.
There shouldn't be a time for them to stop people from coming in. There was a time they stopped new registration, new membership, and they shouldn't do that.
Again, that's for those political parties. For some other political parties, it's different. But if you listen to Prince YS, those other political parties should not exist, and you should be restricted to 2.
Okay, I get that. But is there nobody that controls that?
There's nobody that controls that I know of, because parties have their own constitution, they have their own rules.
So they can stop new people coming into their.
They have their registration window, right? They have a window where people can register in those political parties. If that window closes, I guess, and again, it differs from party to party.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Sandra.
Oh, hey, Sandra.
Sandra, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm good. Okay. I think what I always want the registered or the yet to be registered parties to be talking about are generally the things that will probably favor them or not favor them.
Okay.
What I mean is, you know, before now, the elections usually go like from councillors, chairman, state, this and that before the presidential.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I think it changed during the Obasanjo time when the governors threatened him and he now did the presidential before the governors first did their own.
Okay.
And everything changed. Because a lot of new parties can really grow if the trend goes back the old way.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
You can see a new party that has like a councillor or two or a chairman or one person in the house because these are the grassroots people. All these Abuja-made politicians are just imposed. So while they are talking about registration, they should also talk about procedure. You understand me? I hope he's listening.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They should also talk about it and then talk about the electronic voting. Because all these things, the people hope, when you are in power, you hope to rig, then you leave it. Because I'm sure that if PDP knew that, they would have approved of electronic voting. So if there's a nice and foolproof way of electing our leaders, they will bring out people, credible people, because no party will want to lose. At least for